David, I'm reminded of that wonderful song from A Chorus Line, What I Did for Love. And Orpheus, Orpheus, What He Did for Love. It's an extraordinary story, and even though it's an ancient story, as it were, there are resonances for us today. What are some of the things about the piece that you feel an audience of today can relate to?
The humanity of it, the realness of loss of a loved one resonates today. I mean, that never stops, does it? Yeah. And the loneliness and the frustration and the anger that comes out emotionally and all of that.
And yet, extraordinarily so, he gets his beloved back, not once, but twice.
But twice, yeah. She also dies twice.
Yeah, you can't have a resurrection without the death beforehand, that's true. But I'm also reminded of the fact that even though this is a story of antiquity, it's as much about art as it is about love, isn't it? Because Orpheus is sort of the first musician.
He is the first musician. He is the musician, and he makes it everything happen from his music and his beautiful singing and my beautiful singing, hopefully.
Yeah. And you have done the role before in Atlanta. You were in a very celebrated production with the Atlanta Opera several years ago.
I did. I don't know how many years ago that was.
6 or 7 at least.
Yeah,
I think,
at least.
Yeah.
I did. It's a production, I believe, out of Glimmerglass Opera, originally.
I'm remembering at that point when all of the blessed spirits entered the Elysian fields, they came down from above.
Right,
exactly. Quite extraordinary.
Yeah.
So when did you first become acquainted with a role that has become central to your work and your life as a singer?
I made my debut in a small little house called the Royal Opera House in Covent Garden.
Wait a minute, you first sang
That
Orpheus
was my first
Orfeo
with Covent Garden.
Well, talk about standing at the top.
It was a concert version, but still, it was the first time rolling it out, so it was pretty extraordinary. And it's one of my favorite roles, if not my favorite role. I've always wanted to record it and never had the ability and never had the timing was never right. So this is just an incredible opportunity.
You have lived with this role for
probably 20 years.
Pretty much all of your international career. When you first encountered the music, some of which is extraordinarily famous, I guess what I'm really trying to ask is, how do you take something as familiar as Che Farò, one of the most famous tunes of the Baroque period for any instrument or voice, and make it your own? Because it would be so easy to just do
what everyone else does.
What everyone else
does. Well, I would like to think that I do that with anything I sing. But I think it's just important that I not think about the history of the aria or who else has sung it or how many times I've heard it or this ending is different, because there are many versions of Che Farò. It changed throughout Gluck's composing life. And I just try to make it as human a situation for myself as possible.
And how do you find the right tempo at which to sing it? Because this works at a very slow tempo, it works at a moderately slow tempo, it works at almost a walking tempo. What's yours and what's your rationale?
Yeah, I find this aria red.
Red?
Red as in color red, red as in anger, red as in frustration, red as in I'm so angry about her dying for a second time. I had the opportunity, love told me how it was to happen, and I looked at her and she died. And I don't find this feel sorry for me aria.
Interesting. So it dictates a slightly faster tempo, because the
like
energy that is needed for the anger needs to come at a slightly faster tempo.
And my personal feeling is set up in the recitative prior, where I sing son disperato. I don't sing son disperato.
Yeah. You're no shrinking violet as a husband who's lost his wife for the second
I don't
time.
think so. I think it's much stronger to play it the other way.
So the other aria that precedes it, this aria of wonderment, Che puro ciel, tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about it and what's special about it.
Well, the orchestration is just magnificent. You have cello playing way up on the fingerboard. You have flute, oboe, solo. Gluck was pretty genius in orchestrating it and showing the animation and the beauty of everything in the underworld.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great aria.
There will be many people in our audiences Thursday and Saturday who may have never seen this piece before. may have never even seen an opera before, much less a Baroque opera. What's a couple of entry point suggestions for a new listener for you?
I think for any new listener to any piece is have an open mind. It's only 85 minutes.
No intermission.
No intermission.
Brevity is the soul of wit. Exactly.
It's the social media concentration day.
Exactly.
Anyway, it's just about coming with an open mind and coming with your life put to the side for 85 minutes and let us take you on a journey.
Thank you, David, and thank you for taking on this journey with us. It's very exciting for the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra and the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra Chamber Chorus to be able to participate in what is, I know, going to be an historic event, your recording of Orfeo done live in front of our audiences. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, my pleasure.